What's going on, family? This is your brother Nachaash, and I am back finally with a More Than Music segment. So basically, I know it's been a while, guys. Please show me grace. But basically, for those that don't know, I go by brother Nachaash. Like I say, I go by brother because I am your brother. Here to help you think outside the box, help you get yourself right mentally, spiritually, and physically. And also, I do music as well. So I know most of you guys are here on this channel for that as well. And hopefully, you guys will sit here and listen. Maybe you can learn something and get to know me. I can drop some gems on you, and we can grow together. Um, so with that being said, in the More Than Music segment, I like to talk and really get, uh, you know, really get in depth and in tune with you guys and the things that I love, which is I love natural health. I love healing in all forms, and that's what really a lot of the things I'm gonna talk about. The truth, because there's healing in truth. Okay, so um, today we're going to talk about protein myth. The protein myth. Yes, the protein myth. What do I mean? Protein myth. I've been a vegan for about a couple years. My children and my wife have been vegans for about a year and some change. Okay. Um, so every time we come across people who find out that we are vegan or plant based, they ask the question, well, how do you get protein? There's no way you get protein. You need to eat this and need to eat meat. You gotta get this protein. You gotta get this B12. And you gotta get da da da. Right? There's a lot of false information out there that is leading people to believe that if you eat a plant-based lifestyle, a fruit-based diet, that you will not get protein, right? Or like I like to say, amino acids. So when we look at these things and when we search out the matter, we find that that is actually false. And today we're going to talk about that. So speaking of search out a matter, all right, I like to start off with a scripture, right? Proverbs 25:2. All right. And it says that it is the glory of the Most High to conceal a matter, but it is the honor of a king to search out a matter. Okay? It is the honor of a king to search out a matter. A lot of times we like to walk around and call ourselves kings, and our women like to call themselves queens, right? And rightfully so. I won't knock that, right? Because you are kings and queens, children of the Most High, the children of the Creator, right? You are kings and queens. But here's the thing: are you searching out a matter? Are you really going past the religious systems, the medical systems? Are you seeking truth? Are you thinking for yourself, or are you allowing somebody else's truth to impart on you, right? And you haven't done your due diligence to prove them right or wrong, because you're supposed to prove all things according to the Bible, right? First Thessalonians, right? We prove all things. So we're gonna go into it. I don't want to go into this big spiel on being kings and queens, but that's gonna be another talk for later. So stay tuned for that. So what are proteins? Proteins are a complete structure. Okay, it's something that's already completed. It's been pieced together, and it's a finished product. Okay, you get different types of proteins, and proteins does different types of things in the body. Okay, but proteins consist of small amino acids. Okay, you have amino acids, and what happens is they make these chains. They bind together and they make these chains, and it makes different types of proteins depending on the order that the amino acid is in that forms a structure. Some proteins have many clusters or many chains connected to it where they form like this. Okay, simple amino acids is just the actual amino acid, and it's not connected to a chain. It's not connected to create this big complex thing. Okay, so that's what a protein is. And I'm looking down at my paper, y'all, because I'm trying to stay on task here. If y'all know me, y'all know when I'm teaching, I like to go off, and so I'm trying to stay structured, and I'm trying to stay in a timely order, in a timely manner, because my children and my wife and everybody's kind of like making noise. So if y'all hear them with that, I apologize for that. But it's life, I'm a dad of 6 kids and a wife. You feel me? So yeah, we it get busy in this piece. So but with that being said, so let's get to what amino acid is. Amino acid is a simple structure. And our cells are simple in nature, all right? Meaning that it needs simple nutrition, okay? A lot of times we like to make a lot of things complex that's really simple. We'll think complex for something that's very simple. 2 plus 2 will be 4. We'll be like 2 plus this plus that minus that times that divided by that just to get to 4 when it's really 2 plus 2. That's all we need, right? So we bring that same complexity into our world, into our paradigm, in the way we think, in the way we operate with one another, in the way we problem solve, okay? And so sometimes the best answer, well, majority of the time, the best answer is the simple, straight to the point answer, okay? So our bodies are the same way. Our body is complex, but it requires simple things for it to work. And it's really simple. The body is really simple when you really break it down, you really think about it, okay? So there are many fruits and vegetables that have quote unquote protein or amino acids. Just you have some fruits and vegetables that have more things than other, more proteins than other. Like you have quinoa, alfalfa sprouts, coconut powder. You have a lot of different things that have more amino acids than others, but that doesn't mean that you're not getting amino acids from eating other things, right? So here's the key thing, right? Animals, right? Let's look at animals, right? The biggest animal on this earth, on the landmass, right, is an elephant. And that animal eats what? Yes, fruits and vegetables. Exactly. So the key thing is to see that, okay, the biggest animal eats fruits and vegetables. What about a gorilla? And I'm talking about hybrid gorillas that, were manipulated and made and created. I'm talking about lowland apes. Okay, and lowland gorillas, which is one of the most muscular animals on this earth in terms of skeletal muscle, right? These guys are huge and big, right? Where do they get their protein from? See what I'm saying? Most of the time, apes and gorillas, they eating on fruit. Every now and then they may eat on like some bamboo shoots and things like that, but they majority eat fruit. And they're still getting amino acids or protein to build up, right? So let's look at a turtle or a tortoise, right? They live to be like, what, 150, 200 years, right? And they eat fruits and vegetables. You see what I'm saying? So you have the oldest animal, like the oldest, the biggest, the strongest, muscular animal, they all are plant-based. And then we have to ask ourselves, us being part of the animal kingdom, well, why doesn't that work for us? Right? Because it does. it does work for us. We just don't know, or we haven't done our own due diligence or research because somebody told us that it doesn't. And we just took that as face value. So, do your due diligence, right? All right, so, and then the crazy thing is, why aren't we taught this information? Why is this not like plain? Like, why are we not taught this in schools? We're not taught this in grade school, because these are things that we need to know. I mean, this is our lifestyle, I mean, we eat every day, right? This is excuse me, this is what we do every day. So this will be a good thing for us to know, right? Like, what's in these fruits and vegetables, what's not in blah blah blah, right? But then again, the reason why they're not telling us these things, because there's agenda behind it. Okay, that's one thing you have to realize, is agenda behind it. Okay, when you're eating all the meats and you eating all the beans, the complex proteins, okay, these things causes problems in the body. For one, they shut down the kidney. Okay, they shut down the kidneys. And from meat, you get uric acid. Okay, you become highly acidic from eating all of the meats and the putrefacients of trying to break down the meat, something that's super complex that you can't break down. Remember, we were talking about the proteins being a cluster, right? So your body tries its best to break it down. The acid in your stomach tries to break it down. All the chyme and all the amylase and all of the different enzymes tries to break it down. It does break some of it down to simple amino acids, the way it started, right? But it doesn't break it all down. So just look at a protein as like a whole bunch of chains, like amino acid chains, right? Like links, almost like links. And uh, what happens is your body tries to break down each chain and break the chain into links. Okay, just the little links where the link is by itself. And so what happens is uh, when your body can't break it down all the way, your body doesn't know what to do with an already completed protein. Because what our body loves to do is take simple things and build up on that. Okay? Take simple things and build up on that. What do I mean by that? Okay, well, so your body likes to take amino acids and build a complex quote unquote protein structure or amino acid structure. Okay? And it performs a certain function in the body. The problem is when we have complex proteins from eating animals' flesh, right, which is already a completed protein, okay? It is already made into a muscle fiber or flesh that you're eating from an animal. You see, if you're eating the muscle of, the calf, leg or the sirloin steaks and all of that. These are already completed protein muscles, okay, that the animal actually body has synthesized from the amino acids, okay? And so what happens is you're giving a complete protein to the body that's used to amino acids, something simple. And then it's like, hold on a second. Your body's like, hold on. Why are you giving me this complete thing? I don't know what to do with this. Now I'm going to have to try to break it down, which causes more energy, okay? More energy loss in the body, because what we do is the more it takes more energy to break something down that's that strong to break apart. It takes a lot of energy. And the sad thing is we walking around nutritional and energy deficient. So we're already in a deficit already because we're not nutritionally sound. We don't have enough energy floating around, and then we're taking more energy from our own body, because our body has to focus its energy on breaking down this big meal. That's why it is called, when people eating big and heavy, right? You get what it's called. They call the itis, right? Your body begins to shut down and get fatigued and get tired. Okay, that's why. It's because your body is taking a lot of energy from other places that it usually needs energy at, and it's focusing on breaking this thing down because it has to get it out the body. That's priority number one. We need to break it down to get it out the body, for one, because it's not supposed to be in the body. Okay, so it tries its best to do that, and what happens is you become fatigued, you become tired, you don't want to do anything, you become lazy, right? Because your body has to shut down for your energy to focus on breaking down this complex protein, a complex carb, a complex sugar structures, okay? Remember, we need simple, okay? That's the best way your body can run efficiently, being simple, okay? So what happens is when you're eating these complex muscle fibers and these complex tissues, your body can't break it down as much, like I said before. And then what happens is they end up harming your kidneys. Okay, so you have like little fenestrations, little openings in your kidneys for certain sediment, certain things that gets filtered through the blood, and it goes out through your tubules into the kidneys, and then it goes out into the bladder, and then it goes out for excretion in the toilet, right? So what happens is you have these little holes that certain molecules can pass through. Think of it as like a sifter, right? You sifting something, and the only thing that's left, so the smaller molecules pass through, but the big things don't, so you left with that, right? But what happens is, because of the pressure, there's a lot of pressure that gets in the kidneys, right? And it's a lot of pumping going on, so things get forced through, so you have a big protein that the body doesn't know what to do with, and it couldn't break it down fully, so it's still too big to pass through. But what happens is the pressure forces it through, and so you have the fenestration that's like this. Over time, it begins to open up, and now you have big proteins that normally wouldn't go through passing through. And then that's why some of you guys may see bubbles in your urine or foamy urine. That means that you're either dehydrated, you're not drinking enough water, or coconut water, which is the best water, and H3O2 in fruits, right? Watermelon water, that's better. Or you can go to spring water, which is a little less than this, but still good, right? So anyway, all right. So the key thing, right, is to realize that your body needs simple things, okay? And so whenever, back to what I was saying, whenever it starts, the complex protein starts to pass through the kidneys and you spilling it out, that's what you're seeing in the urine, the foam, right? And you're seeing the bubbles. That's not good. Most of us are walking around with poor functioning kidneys, poor filtering kidneys. Most people, kidneys not even functioning at all. You know, we are taught that the urine's supposed to be clear. That's only if you're drinking a whole bunch of water, you're drinking a whole bunch of, but really and truly, your urine not supposed to be clear because it's filtering things. You want your urine to look like it's filtering, not look like you just drank water and it just came right out. You want it to be filtering, okay? So, and especially when you wake up, your urine should be dark, okay? Your urine should be dark. All right. So, and I'll talk about that on another segment as well. By the way, man, like, share, and subscribe if this is helping you grow with your brother. You know, and I plan on being consistent, man. I really love talking about these things. So yeah, let's get into it. If this is helping you, if this has blessed you, like and subscribe to the channel. Also, you guys can you know, jam the music, man. I need to do better, upload music on here too, by the way. So, but anyway, nonetheless, let's get back to it, right? So what happens is whenever you eating meat, right, you get uric acid, okay? And the uric acid is what causes you to be acidic, okay? And when you're acidic, then the lymphatic system, which is the sewer system of the body, has to cool down the acid, okay? And the way you put out a fire in the body is through the mucosal membrane or the lymphatic system, which is lipid, fatty, cholesterol system that actually cools down or crystallizes the acids that's burning up the cells, okay? If you burn too many cells, that's how you get into cancer. You get into all these different things, and we're gonna talk about all of that too. So with that being said, right, when you're eating beans, okay, beans, you get phytic acid. Phytic acid does the same thing when you're eating beans, okay? So you should not eat legumes or beans as much. Like, you know, if you do eat them and you're trying to wean yourself off of them, sprout the beans, okay? Because when you sprout the beans, when you sprout them, the casein opens up and loosens up, and the phytic acid level goes down because it has been sprouted. So beans are like embryos, okay? And the capsule is like a protecting the embryo, okay? So what happens is when you sprout them, you open them up and it releases some of that phytic acid. It doesn't need it anymore. It's sprouted, right? It's thinking that it's going to grow into the actual plant, okay? So then now you lessen the phytic acid. Not only you lessen the phytic acid, let me tell you what phytic acid does, okay? Phytic acid binds to molecules in the body, okay? It binds to minerals in the body. So here's the thing, right? Even if you're eating healthy or you're eating a complete balanced diet, what happens is that you can't even absorb what you're eating because the phytic acid in all the beans is binding, right? It's binding to all the minerals and nutrients that you're taking in. So, which behooves you to start sprouting those beans, okay? Start sprouting those legumes, all right? And so, whenever you get into this acid, that's burning up the body, constantly burning up the body, especially when you're dealing with the uric acid, it goes into the joints. And when that crystallization that I was talking about happens, right, it happens in the joints because the body tries to push it. It gets out of the blood system. It tries to push it into crevices and corners that's not needed, and spaces that's not needed. Hence why, you know, spaces in between in the joints and, you know, the knuckles, the knees, all of these different areas and toes, they lock up, and then you get what is called gouty arthritis or gout, right? Because what happens is it literally freezes, it literally crystallizes, and it gets stuck in your joints. So you can't just, you know, you can't just bend your fingers, your hands, you can't just move your feet around, wiggle your toes. You can't, and it's painful. It's extremely painful. You're burning up the cells. It's crystallized. It's hard. And when you do move it like that, you're cutting up cartilage. You're cutting up the insides off of the crystallization. Okay. because the body was like, yo, listen, this is hot. I gotta cool it down. I gotta stop this. Okay, so we have to make sure that we know why we're eating and we know what we're eating and we know what it's doing to us. Okay, so do your due diligence, because health. Listen, without health, wealth is nothing. All right, it's nothing. So I know a lot of people like to go after that bag. That's cool, but at the same time, listen, you can't enjoy it. You can't. What's the point of going after it if you can't, if you don't have health? You land up in a bed somewhere and somebody else spending your money. You see what I'm saying? So let's think about that, man. Let's really think about our diets. Let's really think about making a change in our life, spiritually, mentally, and physically. Let's really look at these things. Let's look at the protein myth. Let's look at proteins. Let's see, check everything I'm saying, and go do your work. So let's get back into it, right? So here's the crazy thing, right? When you think about it, why aren't we being taught these things? Why aren't we being taught that, hey, eating proteins and complex proteins this way will cause us to have issues, right? Why aren't we taught these things? Well, you got to look at it, right? The FDA, Food and Drug Association, okay? What does food and drugs have to do with one another? We'll get into that another time too. But when you look at it, these guys, the healthcare system, the allopathic system, the Western medicine makes money off of your sickness. Okay, I'm sorry to say it, but that's just what it is. They make money off of your sickness. Think about it. That's why when you look at people that's sick, they get a medication, and they have to keep going to the doctor for the same things, or they have to keep taking a medication every day or twice a day or 3 times a day or weekly, or they have to keep doing it because something is not being healed. What's happening is symptoms are just being covered up. Okay, and 9 times out of 10, the symptoms are really alarms in your body telling you like, hey, something not right, deal with it. Okay, hair loss, all of that is a symptom. It's a symptom of something going on in the body. So don't take hair loss, lightly. Okay, so staying back on task, because I can keep talking on a whole bunch of stuff, but staying back on task. Okay, why don't they want you to know this? Because a sick you means money in their pockets. Okay, and unfortunately, we live in a society, we live in a system where they don't get paid off of you being healthy. It would be a beautiful thing if they was to get paid off of healing people. Man, this world would be different. You feel me? Like, this world would be completely different if they got paid off of healing, literally healing you. If they got paid off of healing you, this world would be different. You know what I'm saying? Everybody they were trying to heal everybody. But we don't have. Unfortunately, it's not that way. Some countries is that way. Here it's not. They get paid off of the certain procedures that they need to cause you to need more procedures, and the medications that cause you to need more medication and more sickness, and manage your sickness until you die. Notice I never said cure, I said manage. Manage your sickness until it dies. And like I said, this is not a shot at doctors. This is not a shot at, because like I said, I've been a nurse for 12 years, okay? I know the system, and I know the wicked side of it. You know what I'm saying? Most nurses and doctors, they're not looking like they're trying to harm you. They're only doing what they've been taught. You know what I'm saying? And they only been taught one way and one thing. They haven't been taught, what been working for ages. Okay? The Eastern medicine, the African way of healing. Okay? They haven't tapped into that or looked into it, but they don't want to, because it's a lot of healing in that. Okay? People really get healed. So the key thing to take is, just like a dentist, okay? The people that makes money off your sickness, that makes money off your teeth decaying, truly don't want you, okay? Truly don't want you, or I would say the system, they thrive off of you being sick, or you having dental caries, or you having problems with your teeth, or problems with, so really look into it, really think about that, and open up your mind, right? Another reason that these the allopathic community, these high-ups, the pharmaceutical companies, these doctors, these surgeons, these blah blah blah, right? These guys can't put a patent on an herb, okay? So they can't make money off of healing you via herbs, because they can't put a patent on harvesting the herb. But what they can put a patent on is looking at the molecular structure of the plant and see how it operates. And then what they'll do is they'll create a synthetic version, okay, of the plant healing modalities, and then they'll put it in the form of a pill, and then they'll give it to you. Mind you, the body is simple, and they're putting complex, unknown toxins into the body, chemistry in the body. So remember, they can't patent herbs, but they can patent the chemicals. They can patent the tools. They can, that they do surgery with. They can patent the different shots that they give. They can patent all these things and make money off of you being sick and you, quote unquote, needing them. Okay. So with that being said, hey, kings and queens, search out a matter. Okay. Research. Look these things up. Study to show yourself approved. Much love to the kings and queens. Much love to y'all, man. And till next time, let's get it. Glad to be back.
3, 2, 1, about to blast off. Yeah. We on a mission. Hey, dance with my father, Luther Vandross. Yeah. Ain't no competition. Jim Brown style with the handoff. Yeah. Put in my ambition. Hey, Clint Eastwood with the standoff.